Now that we've had time to fully play and digest Future Saga Chapter 2, let's go over what will potentially happen in the next chapter and the complete future of the Dragon Ball Xenoverse series. Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back again with another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 video. We're going to be discussing Future Saga Chapter 3, aka Xenoverse 3, Phase 1. That is right, my friend. So obviously Xenoverse 3 is not confirmed or anything, nothing official on that. We're just calling it like the setup to Xenoverse 3. Everybody's been calling it that because that seems to be what it's doing. And I know for many, many years, we've been saying, oh, this is setting up Xenoverse 3, this is setting up Xenoverse 3, but we weren't really serious, and I'm not like dead serious or anything about this, but this is like the first time since Fu has been introduced into the story that the story is actually going somewhere. Like the stakes are higher, you know, it's becoming more serious. And that's what I love about this, because before it's been kind of all just like fan service, playful bullshit. And you know, it's still gonna be more fan servicey because this is a video game and they want to, you know, make a bunch of money. So at the end of the day, there's gonna be fan service type stuff. But ever since Future Saga Chapter 2 release and we played through the story and you saw that ending of it, it's definitely setting up for something a lot bigger than just, oh, I'm Fu and I'm gonna do experiments and have fun and have a good time. No, 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 no. This ain't about fun anymore, y'all. It's getting serious, all right? This Xenoverse 3 shit is getting serious, right? So let's talk about this. I'm so excited to discuss my theories and just the expansion of how this will work in Future Saga Chapter 3 and even 4 and leading into potentially maybe a Xenoverse 3 or something in the future. Again, we don't know if Future Saga Chapter 4 is the last DLC. I'm really doubting it just because it's Xenoverse 2 and it just I feel like it never ends. There should be an award, okay, at the Game Awards for this game to be the longest lasting series, I think, because I mean, we have a confirmation of GTA 6, all right, and GTA 5 is still going on, right? And that's definitely been going on longer, but I feel like Xenoverse 2 might actually beat it in terms of how long this game has lasted, right? So enough dilly-dally. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe here on the channel, ring my notification bell if you guys are excited to discuss this, and comment down below your predictions, thoughts, everything on Future Saga Chapter 2 leading up to Chapter 3 and even beyond. So let's get into what happened in Chapter 2 that made me so hyped about Chapter 3. Okay, obviously we saw the teaser at the very end of the very first, or the final trailer that we got for Future Saga Chapter 2, which showed Conton City being destroyed, which we'll get into that a little bit later here. But let's just go over this right now. So this is Supreme Kai of Time talking, okay? She's on like the intercom voice chat thing or whatever, and she's talking with Fu. So she said, you towed the line with your past exploits, but attacking Earth, you have officially crossed it. Now that's where I said, okay, when I was playing through the story, I was definitely noticing that. Okay, I was like, whoa, hold up. Okay, Fu has never been like a bad, super villainous, like super evil, pure evil type of character, okay? He's always been kind of more of a neutral party, or if you would consider him maybe an anti-hero, maybe you could go as far to say that, okay? Ever since his introduction in Extra Pack 2, which was DLC Pack, I believe that was 6, this is about 2 years after Xenoverse 2 release, okay? Mira and Tawa, they're gone, okay? They're not there anymore, so Dabura steps in, all right? As you guys know, Dabura is the brother of Tawa, okay? So this is his nephew, right? Because Fu is the experimental son of Mira and Tawa, if you want to consider it that, because that's what he is, okay? We'll just call him the son of them, right? So you would think he's like the next heir to the throne in terms of this, right? So like the villains, the bad guys have always been Demigra, Mira, Tawa, and I guess Dabura, who is more, you know, like I said, more introduced in the story as like a bad character, a major villain in Extra Pack 2, right? So, you know, it's like almost like setting up like Fu's gonna be the new like Demon King or like the new heir to the throne for it. Like he's gonna, you know, resurrect the demon realm and all that good shit, right? And it's crazy because it's like Dragon Ball Daima is going on right now too, and I'm seeing so many parallels. If you're watching Daima, you can see things that are like in Daima that feel like a Xenoverse type of story, or things that are like almost like inspired or influenced by it. No confirmation, but it just feels that way to me when I'm like watching this shit. I'm like, bro, this is why I love Daima so much, because it's like it feels like a Xenoverse type of story in a way, right? Because it's all focused in the demon realm. But I digress. Few in the ending of Extra Pack 2 in the actual story, Supreme Kai Time is like locked up in this like barrier, this like evil dark barrier thing or whatever, and Dabura is trying to lock her away, okay, or seal her up. But then Few, he just at the end betrays Dabura, okay? Again, they're like almost like they were setting up for him to be like the new bad guy, but he ends up betraying, and he's like, yo, I don't give a shit about any of this. Like, he literally says, like, I don't care about the demon realm or resurrecting it or becoming the new demon, you know, heir to the throne king or whatever. He's like, that's not what I'm interested in, okay? His interest has always been gathering a bunch of energy and ki and all that stuff and just doing his own thing and experimenting, okay? He likes to learn, right? Dude's a big, like, Dragon Ball fan, a big nerd, right? Him and Android 21 even have an interaction, okay, in this game where they're like, oh yeah, you do experiments too. Oh shit. So like they could be like best buddies, right? So it's very similar in that aspect where it's just more about the learning aspect, the experimentation, and the fun of it, okay? Like I said, he's like a Dragon Ball fan, and a lot of the story setting up to this, you know, like there was a point in, I think, what is it, DLC, was it 12 or 13, whichever one it was, where it was Gogeta versus Broly. He's like framing the shot of like how he wants things to go. Okay, he's literally doing this, and he's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Like, this is Gogeta versus Broly. Like, I'm a big fan, right? And I want to do it this way. I want to set it up this way. So he seals away Gogeta's power and shit, and he's like, let's just see what happens. Like, you know, at the end of the day, he's still trying to gather energy for his experiments and shit, but he's just like having a good time doing it. But this is different because after experimenting on himself, he becomes under the influence of the ultra supervillain power, okay? The entire premise of Future Saga, these 4 chapters have been Few's introduction and creation of the supervillain power and this new crystal that he kind of like embeds into these characters, whoever he wants to, okay? Specifically, it's been God Vegeta, Rose Goku Black, and now, you know, Full Power Jiren, okay? And again, it's just kind of like an excuse to get these characters like rehashed and like reskinned to sell for product, right? But he's still, you know, it's still working in terms of the story, okay? So this is the first time in Future Saga Chapter 2 that he's fucking around with it, and he's doing it on himself, right? So moving on here, he says, Supreme Kai Time says, wait, don't tell me you're being influenced by your own experiments, aren't you, okay? Because, like, the way his attitude is, the way he's speaking, his actions, it's definitely becoming a lot more sinister and evil. You saw it with the other characters, especially with Jiren. He's doing things, like, kind of almost, like, against his own will that, like, he normally would not do, okay? He was never a bad guy. He was never a bad character, like an evil character antagonist, okay? But, you know, he was always the character in a sense that Goku was fighting, okay? Like, the good guys were always fighting, but they were never bad. Same thing with, like, Hit. It's, like, not a bad guy, right? So, he got to the point where, like, he was actually trying to destroy cities, towns, and, like, potentially killing people, okay? By using his experiments on the Ultra Supervillain. Like, he wasn't directly doing it himself, but, like, you know, he was using it and doing it, going through other characters to destroy these cities and stuff, okay? He wasn't doing that before, right? He was just kind of having his own fun. You know, the worst it would get to was like, oh, a good guy's getting beat up by, you know, one of his experiments, and that was, you know, really it. But it's like innocent people. He didn't care about doing any of that, but now he's doing that. Like, what the hell's wrong with this dude, right? So then Few says, is that what you think? Oh, he hit the Dio pose here. I mean, it's not exact, but like when I saw this, I was like, bro, this dude, like, this is an evil pose right here. Like, this guy is officially, like, this is his villain arc. And I love that because what Few is currently going through right now is a negative character arc, okay? Again, he wasn't ever, like, a good guy, okay? But I would consider this a negative character arc because he's descending into, like, darkness, right? Before it wasn't really, you know, he was having fun. Like, it was a fun thing to do. He was just experimenting, doing his own thing for his own knowledge and all that stuff. But he was never really, like, trying to, like, his intentions weren't evil. He didn't want to hurt people just for no reason. Now he kind of is, right? Because of the ultra super villain power. It's been, you know, corrupting and fucking his mind up to where he's going to be doing shit like this, right? So he's like, oh, not quite. And then, okay, he attacks Trunks or whatever, and then he's, you know, gonna do his little, like, transportation. He opens like a new portal, and then this is the last thing he says, okay? He says, every single time, because he calls you the character as your custom character, he goes, you really are a hero. Every single time you always show up to stop me, okay? Which is crazy because it's like he never really, again, before, the story hasn't been going anywhere, okay? It's always been Few does his bullshit, your character comes in with Trunks or whoever else, other good character, Goku, and they show up, they stop Few's, you know, experiments or whatever, and it's like, I think Few started getting tired of it, okay? And he's really like, he's like, I'm done with this shit, right? He goes, you always show up to stop me. And then he goes, I wish you wouldn't. And just like, look at his face, like his facial expression. He's like clenching his teeth. Like he's not happy. All right. He's not happy about it. He's done with this shit. Right. So yeah, he's willing now to go through any means necessary to prevent them from doing this shit, because now with this ultra super villain power, he don't give a fuck. All right, there's no more holding back. He's ready to really just like fuck some shit up, right? So this is how whatever is going to be happening, okay, in Future Saga Chapter 3, it's going to lead to the destruction of Conton City, okay? Now, what like this is like the whole like mainly this is mainly like the shop area, like the whole central area. This is where the statue is and everything of like the greatest time patroller or whatever it is. So this is that kind of region. It's just going to be completely just like blown up or whatever. So I cannot tell you exactly how this happens. I don't know who does this. It could be Few. It could be one of Few's new experiments on an ultra super villain type of character. I had heard people saying, oh, it's going to be ultra super villain Golden Frieza, which is probably likely. We'll probably see that, right? Again, there could be at least at minimum probably 4 more ultra super villain characters within these next 2 packs. We only got 1 in Future Saga Chapter 2, but we did get 2 in the very first one for God Vegeta and Rose Goku Black, okay? So your custom character just comes through and he's just like, bro, what the fuck happened? Like, it's over, right? So my theory is that Few, he's gonna gain some new power. It's most likely the Ultra Super Villain Crystal, but I'm hoping, okay, I'm really hoping he gets some type of new form and he will be playable, okay? It's been a long time since Few has been introduced in this game. Again, that was 2018, so it's been 6 years, gonna be 7 years going into next year, because we're not gonna be getting anything on this game until 2025 at minimum, right? So I'm really hoping we get a new version of Few, okay? Even if it's not like a transformation, it's probably most likely gonna be like some separate slot, but it would be really cool if they finally gave us Super Few. Now, I know Super Few, which is the, you know, form that like Mira has, like the demon hybrid experimental characters, because they do have Saiyan cells in a sense. I always thought Hearts was also part of that, but he's not. He's not even allegedly, Hearts isn't even a demon, I don't think. I can't even remember. Hearts is a weird thing. I don't know why I'm talking about him, but I wish Hearts was in this game. But yeah, they don't do Dragon Ball Heroes content that often, okay? However, Xenoverse 2 did have, or at least introduce, Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, okay? Which has been more exclusive to Heroes, and I can't recall if he was in, that form was in Dragon Ball Online or not. I think it was mainly first introduced in Heroes and they brought it into Xenoverse 2. So it's not completely out of the question just because this is a power that Few should be able to use, okay? Because he's an experimental character that has DNA in the cells from, you know, other characters, mainly being Saiyans as well, okay? So he should have this power, even if it's not necessarily Super Few. This is just like, you know, an image for reference to the mod. It's going to be like the full takeover, okay? Because right now he has the power, but he don't got the crystal like fully corrupting his body yet, okay? He's like, I would say he's like 50% there, okay? He needs the full 100% effect. So Ultra Super Villain Few might be a thing, or they might give him some type of new form. Like, hey, who knows? Maybe they give him the what is it, final form Mira type of thing, where it's like that Super Saiyan 4 type shit. Like that would be sick, right? Xenoverse is cool because they can do that stuff with these new characters, okay? So the last thing I wanted to go into, and this is just a little, you know, it is definitely reaching. Again, I cannot tell you if this is actually going to be leading in the Xenoverse 3, but the reason why a lot of us feel this way is, again, because the story is actually going somewhere. The stakes are higher. You know, there's development, okay? It's not, let's have fun anymore. This is, all right, real shit. Real shit, all right? It took this long, but they're finally doing it. And the fact that they're finally doing it means it's got to be going somewhere, right? And even if it ends off here with Future Saga Chapter 4, for example, okay? The Xenoverse story, it's got infinite stories, right? That's why it's called Xenoverse, okay? There's just so many different timelines and universes that they could go into and you know, fuck around and find out, right? So why I brought this up was because this was the result of Xenoverse 1, okay? I guess it was like Demigra, whatever. Toki City was destroyed in Xenoverse 1, and rather than rebuilding it like the Time Patrol did after Demigra's attack, Cronoa decided to build a new, larger city atop the ruins of the old one, resulting in the creation of Conton City. Now, this might just be one part of Conton City that got fucked up. The whole thing could be destroyed, okay? Who knows? So, if that's the case, and they're not going to just rebuild, which they could easily just rebuild, right? It would be nice if they built a new city on top of it, and it resulted in the next city for Xenoverse 3, okay? Toki City was much smaller. Conton City is much larger, right? So maybe with Xenoverse 3, we get something even bigger, which would make a lot of sense because, you know, with the expansion of a new game, you want a bigger lobby, more stuff, right? More stuff to, you know, check out, see, buy items, you know, fight characters, open new rifts, etc., right? So that would be a really, really good segue and, you know, lead into a potential Xenoverse 3, in my opinion. Now, the last thing I did want to go over are just some of the responses, because I asked you guys, what do you think will happen in Future Saga Chapter 3? Just to get some responses and see what you guys are thinking about, because I love to hear what you guys are thinking about. So, we're about to have a Battle of Gods Super Saiyan God Goku moment. I will not let you destroy my world! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that would be sick, right? Because this is our home. You know, Conton City is our home. So now, right now, in this, whatever happens in Future Saga Chapter 3, we're going to be unemployed and homeless. Like, it's over for us, right? That is our future selves who have turned evil and destroyed everything we swore to protect. That's another theory that has been going on for a very long time. You know, the villain arc for our character would be really, really cool. And if they don't set it up in this, again, Xenoverse 3 would be a great way to do it, okay? One of my favorite character archetypes has always been a good guy, okay, descending into evil. Like, I love that shit. Like, Walter White, for example. You know, just like one of the character arcs that, I don't know, it's just very interesting to me. What is it? Kieran from the recent Pokemon DLC for Scarlet and Violet. Like, he was one of my favorite characters because you see this character who's just such like a shy, like innocent guy, but the more, you know, you fight him and you win against him, the more angry he gets and the more his rage, you know, starts coming out and he becomes a bad guy in a sense, okay, a more evil type of character, you know, in a sense. Not really. Like, it wasn't that bad. He wasn't like killing people or anything. It's not like what's probably going to happen in Xenoverse, you know, 2 Future Saga or whatever. But you know what I mean? It's like, I love that. I love seeing a good guy become bad and then hopefully have a, you know, redemption arc right after. Like, that's always a great thing to see, right? You know, you don't always want them to completely lose, right? You want to see them develop. Okay, character development is huge, and you know, it's the opposite of what happened to Vegeta, for example. Okay, Vegeta, he's had a positive character arc. Okay, Goku's always had more of like a neutral character arc. He's always kept his same ideals. Okay, but Vegeta, he was a bad, and then he became good. Same thing with Piccolo and Tien, in a sense, right? If you want to count that. Phew, what have you done? I believe whenever this exact event happens, this is caused by either Few, influenced by the demon energy, 100% agree, or a big boss ultra super villain character like Cell, Frieza, Omega, Shenron. Then you have to beat them and then get the Dragon Balls to fix everything, okay? So yeah, again, it's very easy to fix Conton City. So it's like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to build a new city, but that was the excuse for Xenoverse 2, is they built a new city. Of course, this would be dragged down to at least 4 different missions. Also, the in-game Gods of Destruction would probably also lend a hand. Would be cool. I like that. Few absorbs Yamcha to become the ultimate life form. We're cooked. If that's the case, we might as well just uninstall the game. I think that the next pick for Ultra Super Villain could be Omega Shenron. I don't think Gogeta. Again, Ultra Super Villain characters are usually more antagonistic type characters. Again, Jiren not being a bad guy, but more of like a character that you would normally fight, if that makes sense, right? So I don't see any of the good characters, you know, getting that yet, but maybe they, you know, change that, right? I think Few uses the Demon Realm Crystal to give Final Form Frieza the Ultra Super Villain power, and then he will upgrade to Golden, while still fully using Ultra Super Villain as Golden, Frieza, Ultra Super Villain. Yeah, that's crazy, right? I think a lot of people have been wanting to see that, because in a sense, that would give us our bootleg Walmart Black Frieza, right? That'd be cool. Because we've always been calling God Ultra Supervillain Vegeta Ultra Ego, right? Few gets a new form with Ultra Supervillain, becomes completely evil, attacks Conton, brainwashes the Time Patrollers. Could be. Could absolutely be. So, yeah, everybody got kind of the same mindset and idea of what's going to happen. As cool as I would love Cumber attacking Conton City, but unfortunately Cumber is heroes, and we just ain't seeing that, right? Who knows? Maybe it'll happen one day. If Xenoverse 3 ever happens, they better go full heroes, because if they don't, it's a rip. I'm joking. But yeah, that's kind of my speculation on it. Oh man, I talked a lot. I'm so sorry. Like, my mouth's already dry. But I'm so fucking passionate about this game and this series, dog. And it's like finally seeing something actually happen. Like some actual development, some character arc changes. Like Fuse going through his villain arc. Like, oh, dude, it's ecstasy. Like, I love it. Give it to me. Just inject it in my veins right now. Like, take me to the Future Saga Chapter 77. Like, I'm ready for it. So, thanks for watching. Again, comment down below your thoughts and opinions, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out!
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet!